Hello everybody, this is your handy dandy guide on how to change your alternator slash water pump belt for your 2004 or other first generation Hyundai Santa Fe models with the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. There's not a lot of information about these engines because they were only the 2-wheel drive models, which were less popular than the all-wheel drive ones. So I actually had trouble doing this due to a lack of information, but that's what I am here to change today. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is this is usually held in there with a couple 10mm bolts. A couple of mine are missing, and one of them was stripped, so I couldn't actually get it out. I basically just had to pull this down and past the CD shaft. But once you do that, I still don't have it fixed all the way, you'll have access to the crank pulley, which you're going to kind of need to make sure everything's in place. Then what you're going to want to do to actually get the belts off, assuming the belt you're trying to replace is still on there, mine wasn't, is you're going to come up here, and to get the main belt off, which is in the way if you want to do the alternator slash water pump belt, this powers the power steering and the air compressor for the air conditioning. This little bolt right here, I don't know if I could really get you to see it, right there, that one, is a little 14mm. You're going to want to loosen that until this belt right here on top is loose. Then what you're going to want to do is come down and remove it from the crank pulley so you can get access to the back, which is why you're going to need to remove this. Not quite remove it, but get it off of there so you can get the new belts on. New belt or belts. And then, to get the other belt, you're going to come up here and you're going to loosen that little bolt on the alternator there. There's this one on top. So you can pull it back and loosen that belt, and then go down to the crank pulley again and remove that belt. And then refer to the, if you don't have the user manual, you can find the belt drive online and make sure everything's connected right. But this belt right here should go across that pulley right there for the water pump, then the alternator, and then the crank pulley at the back. So you're going to want to put that one on first. Then once that's on, you come up here, push the alternator as far back as you can, and then tighten that nut right there. And that'll keep, I think there's supposed to be you may have like a nut on the back of your alternator nut. Mine didn't, but it's an old car. There's bound to be pieces missing and whatnot. But push that back and tighten it, and that's your first belt down. Then the other one is the same process. You go down there, put it on the crank pulley, put it up on the, if you're replacing the belt, put it up on the air compressor and around the tensioner pulley with the flat side on the pulley, and then up and around belt ribbed side on the power steering belt, and back down to the crankshaft pulley. And then you tighten this back up until the belt is nice and tight, not too tight. You don't want to blow it up once you turn the car on. And you come down here and install these 10mm nuts back into here if you can, if they're not rusted like this one is. I might not be able to get that back in there, but then after that you put the wheel back on and tighten her down, lower it, and you should. I test the belts before you put the wheel back on and whatnot. That's the point I was at when I started recording this. So yep, that's how you do the serpentine belt replacement on a first generation 2.4 liter Santa Fe. And I'll see you in the next video.